of the work only come around every so often, so don't miss this special opportunity to revel in its romantic glory. April 11th through the 13th only. For tickets, call the MSO box office at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
My name is Abigail, and I work at Layton Terrace. I love working here. Being a helper is awesome. I can make a difference. This job and living independent boost my emotions. I love my life.
Live life to the fullest with Thinkability Wisconsin, a resource hub that supports people with disabilities throughout their lives. Connect with a real-time navigator at thinkabilitywi.org.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 10 weeks now, currently in the maintenance phase. Hit my goal, 35 pounds, reached my weight loss goal easy, fast, safely, and I'm going to continue working with a wonderful team at Milwaukee Weight Loss.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's time for the Crew to finally throw down against a division rival.
Fly ball, deep right center. See you later. Number 1 for Yelich.
Our Brewers-Reds coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 11:01. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, April 3rd. Your top story, a missing pregnant teen found.
I'm Jessica Tighe, fired from the National Security Council.
Oh, we're drying out a little bit today. Still cloudy, breezy, a high of 50 degrees, wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight at a low of 37. 44 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 11:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, a pregnant teenager from Beaver Dam, missing since early February, has been found near Omaha, Nebraska. Her alleged abductor is now in custody.
Police confirmed to WTMJ 17-year-old Sophia Franklin and her unborn child are in good health and are waiting to be reunited with her family. This comes after Franklin and her alleged abductor and father of the unborn child, 40-year-old Gary Day, were located near Omaha, Nebraska overnight. Day is now in custody on $5,000 bond. Both Day and Franklin went missing February 2nd, which triggered a Wisconsin Amber Alert, as the two were believed to be traveling to other states. Franklin's family posting on social media asking for prayers for Sophia as she returns home. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A jury finds a Milwaukee police officer guilty of negligence. Antonio Obregon ran over a suspect during a high-speed chase in 2020. The injured man, Ravid Smith, sued the city and Obregon after the incident. He was awarded nearly $58,000 for medical expenses and pain and suffering. Dashcam video shows Obregon stopping to let his partner out of the squad car, then driving forward over Smith.
President Trump has fired several National Security Council officials. CBS' Linda Kenyon.
Sources say the firings, which include senior directors, are due to concerns the officials are not sufficiently loyal to the president. The firings come after noted conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer visited the White House to express her concerns directly to the president. It is unclear if Loomer's discussion was directly linked to those firings.
The three officials, the Director for Intelligence on the Senate Intelligence Committee, a Senior Director for Legislative Affairs, and a Senior Director overseeing Technology and National Security, who served in the State Department during Trump's first administration.
The European Union is blasting President Trump's tariffs and working out how to respond.
EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen saying Europe is prepared to respond, calling the tariffs a major blow to businesses and consumers worldwide, adding, quote, "We'll always protect our interests and values News. We're also ready to engage and to go from confrontation to negotiation, end quote. In a Facebook post, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni calling the tariffs targeted toward the EU wrong. French President Emmanuel Macron calling them brutal and unfounded and saying nothing can be ruled out when it comes to Europe's response. Inez de la Quatera, ABC News, Paris.
The Democrats will remain in control of the Wisconsin Supreme Court with Susan Crawford's victory over Brad Schimmel. What does it mean for day-to-day life in Wisconsin?
Jeff Mayers, the president of WisPolitics, says the Crawford win was a result of pent-up anger at Donald Trump and Elon Musk more than a love of Susan Crawford.
First opportunity for Democrats in a swing state where Trump only won by some 20,000 votes to express their anger and displeasure.
With more than $100 million spent on the race, Mayers says people are tired of the partisan nature of judicial races.
That's a lot of money. Like, wow, that's the reality that we're in.
Crawford is sworn in August 1st. John Mercure, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Wish I had better news to share here. The Dow is currently down a little over 1,300 points at 40,918. NASDAQ off about 850 today at 16,746. A rough day for the S&P 500, off a little over 200 points at 5460. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Only 7 games remain on the Bucs' regular season schedule. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
Hey, March Madness is here. Now, technically, I can't say March Madness, but I can say this. Our coverage of the tournament will be fantastic. Hey, it's Greg Matzek. Keep it tuned to WTMJ for all the updates you need on the tournament. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. During every sports update, you'll know about every buzzer beater, every upset, the Cinderella stories, and how the state teams are doing throughout the entire tournament. It's the college basketball tournament, not March Madness. Update sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
As spring rolls in, it's time to get your yard ready at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Keep ahead of crabgrass with effective crabgrass preventers from quality brands like Scott's and Estate. These powerful pre-emergent solutions stifle crabgrass and other invasive weeds to keep your turf healthy and green from the get-go. But if any weeds slip through, Estate Premium 4-in-1 lawn treatment will choke them out on contact. Take pride in your lawn and find the value you need to maximize its potential. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Caladora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Pastor Tim Butker here, inviting you to join us each week for Christian Crusaders. The Bible tells the greatest story ever told, one of hope, redemption, and new life. As we journey through a Bible overview and head towards Easter, we remember the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who conquered sin and the grave for us all. Grow in faith with us as we open the all-powerful Word of God. Tune in Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Out with the Royals, in with the Reds. The Brewers homestand continues tonight after Pat Murphy's club took 2 of 3 from Kansas City.
That's a good baseball team over there. That team's playoff-bound baseball team. That's why I'm so excited, because we battled. You know, that's how we have to be. We have to battle and be relentless and never give in.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ, and the Bucs have just 7 games left on the regular season schedule, including tonight against the 76ers in Philadelphia. Milwaukee begins the day in 6th place in the Eastern Conference playoff race. Here tonight's game on 94.5 ESPN at 6.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. No big crashes to let you know about. Great news there. We do have a couple disabled vehicles out on the system. The most recent one, I-94 West at the ramp from Wisconsin 100, Highway 100 there. The left shoulder blocked due to a car that's broken down. Something else I just want to note, because I find it interesting. In all my years, like checking out the traffic maps on 511 WI, I have never seen this. They have an alert right now for a scam alert. And this is an alert we've told you about here on Wisconsin's Midday News, but it's just kind of interesting that they have it on their website right now. It's a scam alert. Wisconsin DMV is not texting you for overdue toll fees. Do not click on any links in that message. I know I got one of those messages just, I think it was 3 days ago.
That is fascinating. They should put that on the little overhead thing.
You're right.
Too, right.
They should. Yeah, we're always putting good messages. Hey, crash up there, and sometimes little funny things that kind of make you smile. Yeah, that one should go up there. The scam alert. You're right.
Interesting. Well, more clouds than sun today. It's going to be breezy, a high of 50 degrees. No rain in the forecast, thank goodness. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 37. Friday, looking like a high of 51 inland, 45 near the lake. Slight chance for some rain at night. Mostly cloudy. Potential to have some rain early on Saturday and a high of 49, 46 your high on Sunday. Back into the 30s on Monday. Going the wrong direction here. It is 41 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee, approaching 11:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Wasn't it like a year ago that the federal DOT banned those funny messages on electronic signs over Wisconsin highways?
We were talking about that.
I guess I don't know what constituted a funny or snarky message. There was one about, anytime deer hunting season would come up, make it to deer camp, drive sober. You see something like that. I feel like I see something associated in a play on words around the holidays, right? You see something, make it a Merry New Year, something along that line.
For a while, they had really creative ones. And Extremely. It did make you take note, and I think it made people laugh and made people smile. But at the end of the day, some people also said, it was distracting.
Yeah, you're not a turkey. Don't drive basted around the holiday season. There's another one that would show like the number 98 and say that's the temperature, not the speed limit.
Ooh, that's fast.
I don't know if those have fully gone away, but I remember there was a strong push to discourage that.
I haven't seen one in a long time.
I liked them. It's 11:11 on WTMJ. A lot of stories here that we're covering here in the morning.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, national cuts now impacting Milwaukee's plan to address its lead crisis. The city's health commissioner was working with an environmental team that's part of the CDC. That team was just let go, part of the sweeping layoffs of federal health workers. The CDC lost about 2,500 workers on Tuesday, and one of the divisions that was axed was the Lead Poisoning Prevention and Surveillance Branch. Milwaukee's health commissioner will join us live here on Wisconsin's Midday News coming up at 11:35. We'll ask him about the work he was doing with this national team, how he learned the team was cut, and what's next for Milwaukee Public Schools dealing with lead.
Number 2... Yeah, it's the opening bell on Wall Street. Should have been replaced today. Yeah, see where I'm going with that?
Like that.
Yes.
Looks like that.
Sweeping set of tariffs announced by President Trump have stocks plummeting today. President imposing a 10% tariff on nearly all foreign imports and higher reciprocal tariffs on dozens of countries, as well as a 25% tariff on all foreign vehicles and auto parts. Will it pay off in the long run, right? Short-term pain for long-term gain? Well, we'll see. ABC's chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis.
It is a long-term bet, and that's because companies who make manufacturing decisions are making them over the course of many years. If you're going to build a new factory here, you need to find a location, pay for that location, build the factory, and find enough people to employ in it. That is a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar promise.
Yeah, so a long game here. You're still looking at the Dow being, over 40,000 points, and that's a pretty inflated total overall. The NASDAQ just under 17,000, S&P 500 about 5,500. We saw just some incredible gains in the markets. Think about pandemic time. The Dow was at like 18,000.
Well, and remember, I feel like we always were about to hit these milestones. I mean, it was a big milestone when we were going to hit 40,000, then 41,000, then 42. I mean, right now it's interesting to watch because it's just flirting with 41,000 right now. Like every second, it's just goes back down to 40,000. Oh, see, right there, as I'm talking, 41,006. But in a moment, it could go back down.
Yeah, not a good day overall. That is fair to say.
Yeah, rough. Number 3, is Musk moving on? There are new signs that Elon Musk's time in his high-profile role at the Trump administration may be coming to a close. As a special government worker, Musk was only authorized to be in that role for 130 days, but earlier the president hinted he may try to keep Musk longer. Now things appear to have changed.
Musk and his Doge team, of course, have dominated much of the early days of this administration. His chainsaw approach to slashing jobs and government programs, sparking outrage, though, among many. Now, the president himself has been indicating Musk's time may be up. His term would end around the end of May, but the White House insists he isn't being forced out. The president still strongly supports Musk and the work he's doing. Mary Bruce, ABC News, the White House.
Musk's approach has sparked some criticism, and President Trump has recently indicated that Musk would return to running his companies. And that's the thing, at the end of the day, Elon Musk has all these major, big time companies. You have to realize that he wasn't going to, this whole time, just be like this guy right next to Trump for the whole long term. He had to go back.
At some point, and I just think about their egos. I don't know how long they could have stayed with one another at this level. I really don't, right? At a year, half a year? A year seemed long to me.
Think about all the interesting moments that we've had just in this short term. Like since January, you had Musk, with the chainsaw, coming through making the cuts.
Yes.
And then we just had on Sunday, Musk in Green Bay with the cheese head on.
And we had to get $1
million
million checks, right? Just unbelievable. It's 11:15 on WTMJ. And another former athlete targeted in a burglary attempt, but an unbelievable twist to this one. We'll go through it with ABC's Brad Garrett after this.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew with his words of inspiration.
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's our guy. Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins Wisconsin's Morning News every Tuesday at 8:45 for Brewers 360.
We're a team that the other team's going to feel us. You're not going to walk away from a series and not be felt. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Hey, for 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Greg Matzek here. It is Geist. From start to finish, whatever you need to help your garage system at home. Could be the door, could be the opener, could be the stripping around the perimeter. Whatever the case, Geist can help you out. They've got brands like CHI and LiftMaster in stock, ready to go for you. Doors for every budget. They'll even go the custom route for you. I've seen folks work on this. It's amazing. They got a great custom design room. Saw some folks standing and getting it ready for staying. Custom projects for you at Geist. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, do what I did. Visit the showroom in Brookfield. It's right off Barker Road, or visit geistdoors.com. Make a call if you got a question. They might be able to walk you through a problem-solving mechanism over the phone. That could save you time and money. Don't think twice. Call Geist and visit geistdoors.com.
As a fellow military veteran, I relied on my team to get through very difficult missions. We had each other's back and supported our teammates through thick and thin. If you find yourself struggling to make it another day or know someone who is, reach out. Support is at reachoutwis.org.
Paid for by Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment with support by the Medical College of Wisconsin, the War Memorial Center, and reachoutwis.org.
You've got several kids, or your job and other commitments keep you buried with work.
Meanwhile, the clutter is piling up at home. How can people stay tidy when their lives are in chaos?
We have a solution to help you chase away the chaos.
Yes. He's Dan, and I'm Katie. Together, we're Inspired Closets.
Our team at Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space via gorgeous closet renovations.
And our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer. Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Another high-profile home invasion involving a former professional athlete. This time, former Seattle Seahawks All-Pro defensive back Richard Sherman's home was broken into. Added to the list, a long list, including Bucs forward Bobby Portis, who, while playing a game at Fiserv Forum, had his home broken into. But here's the alarming twist. This time, with the home invasion targeting Sherman's home, the wife and children were in the home and held at gunpoint. For more on who these people are, wanted to welcome in ABC News and crime terrorism expert, it's Brad Garrett. And Brad, this seems to be kind of an uncommon twist in at least what we've reported, in that family members were actually at home at the time of the invasion.
They made such a dynamic entry with guns drawn
you're going to presume, or I'm going to presume, that they knew somebody was on the other side once they got through the window. So that is different, as you pointed out, than these folks that sort of fits Portis's burglary as, he wasn't there. They went in the house, they stole certain items, stole, I think, some of his memorabilia, and left. And I believe that case has been tied with a group of folks from South America that were charged in federal court in Tampa, Florida, with committing a number of home burglaries there. The one you have, and I think it may even be tied to the two Kansas City Chiefs players that were also targeted while they were playing. So it sort of shines a light, without knowing more about what happened with Mr. Sherman's home invasion, since that may be not part of this group or individuals we're about to talk about, are folks traveling from South America, from places like, Chile, Ecuador, through South America, that either get a visa waiver if the country has a waiver process where you don't need a visa, or they get a visa and come here legally, temporarily, like on a tourist visa, so let's say 30 days, and then commit X number of burglaries, go to a fence that I think is prearranged. That's a person who takes in stolen property, gets the cash, goes to a bank, uses a fake passport, and opens a bank account, and then sends the money back home. And then if they don't get caught, they, travel back to their home country. And there's been this steady stream of folks, according to the FBI and ICE and other law enforcement agencies, city, county, state, they're involved now to track these groups and to track individuals.
Brad, you're a former FBI agent. How is the FBI working with police departments across the country to connect these robberies?
So, the advantage of having the FBI is that they can get things done quickly across the United States and actually across the world, which is difficult sometimes for city, county, and state law enforcement officers. So you have that. So I think what has happened is the ability to tie cases together, like the one I described, that is a group of folks charged in Florida but had committed, I think, your burglary outside Milwaukee and other places around the country. And so the FBI has helped pull that together. And then the advantage sometimes is to prosecute them federally and pull all the cases together, which has happened in Florida. There's a recent case in Los Angeles of a group that have South American ties, and they had committed over, I believe, 30 home burglaries before they got caught.
You mentioned, Brad, is sort of the elaborate nature of this setup. I can only imagine what sort of research is done before they even enter the United States. But fake IDs to rent cars, housing, fake bank accounts, fake passports to allow the ability to transfer money, selling these stolen goods, right? It's quite an elaborate and premeditated setup here.
I think there is no doubt. Now, the break-ins themselves don't strike me as particularly sophisticated. They're breaking door locks. They're breaking out windows. They're not. It isn't like watching a movie of some professional burglar who can, slickly get into a house without damaging anything. So there's that component, but they have been pretty good about that. No one has been home when they commit these burglaries, and that's, again, as we mentioned earlier, why they pick professional athletes, because they know their schedule, because it's published. So I think there can be a steady stream of people coming up from these countries into the U.S. temporarily. Some overstay, some go back. But, now that ICE agents, I think, are part of this task force looking at these cases, getting immediate border information of people coming in or out, I think, is also helping them sort of figure out and IDing people. Because the real key is, if you can tie the cases together, you tend to get more information, right? Because each scene may have better CCTV, somebody may have an outdoor camera and catch a license plate that they then could track down a rental car, etc. So there's a real plus in, like I said, in pulling these cases together.
When you talk about the fact that there could be a stream of people ready to do this in waiting overseas, it makes me think about, hey, we need to show them that there is a punishment here. Are some of these cases being federally prosecuted, and when is that appropriate?
Yes, the group in Florida were indicted. I think there's 7 of them that were indicted in federal court. They were foolish enough to go online and actually hold up stuff that they had stolen from the various residences around the country, and law enforcement were able to ID them. But yes, when it's appropriate, and sometimes more efficient, because it's easier to pull cases together in federal court than it is in local court.
ABC's crime and terrorism expert Brad Garrett. Certainly hope these things come to an end, but yes, it's quite an elaborate scheme, Brad. Thanks for your perspective. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome. Take care. Thanks.
Yep, you too. Coming up next, a weird thing I noticed in the drive-thru this morning.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics, chronic joint pain. You know what living with chronic joint pain is like? It's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa. Nothing feels good, right? So forget trying to do the things you enjoy, like golfing or hiking or tennis. You're just trying to get by. But there is something you can do. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Milwaukee are on the case and focus on getting you the relief you need. They've already treated tens of thousands of patients around the country with regenerative treatments that can help calm the debilitating joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or your back. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. If you're curious if you'd be a candidate, the consultation is totally free, and they do have appointments on Saturdays. So here's the number. Call QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Spring is here, and it's the perfect time for you to get an awning installed on your porch, deck, or patio just in time for the beautiful weather. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Right now, you can receive $200 off your purchase. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
All right, so I had an interesting experience today. I'd stopped to get a coffee on my way in. I don't do that terribly often, once a week maybe, or something like that. Sometimes we'll grab coffee here, as you know.
Yes. I was about to say that, but then I wanted to hear more about this story.
I'm not going to out the place, but its name rhymes with Baraboo.
No,
and I was going through the drive-thru, and on recent occasions, I have chosen to tip. So they give you the thing, right? You put your credit card or tap your credit card on the thing, and now they casually look at you and say,
yes.
It's going to ask you a few questions here. Okay. Do I want to tip? Do I not want to tip? But now I've got the machine in my hand, and I have left a tip there previously, and I give it back, and I know people can see it. They always look down at the thing to see if there's more money.
They always do.
Well, here
not
they do.
Everybody.
Here
there
I've
they
noticed
do.
they
Okay.
do.
Oh, geez.
To the point where I've now taken it and gone the next step where it shows the total, and then I just hit the X button. So now they can't see what I've done or chosen not to do.
Oh.
Okay. So the coffee that I got today, and they've been spot on and really good. It's this iced vanilla crafted press thing that I've never heard of, but I really enjoy it. Very good. And it's been spot on days that I've left a tip. Today I left no tip. And I also noticed I wasn't able to get to that screen fast enough to like X out of it. So I gave it back to the guy who also was the person making my coffee. And it wasn't very good.
But the coffee was done before you decided.
No.
Wait, what?
No, made fresh, made to order. Like, we'll get that started for you, right? And he turns around that he's the guy, working doing the thing and doing. And it wasn't as good. It wasn't nearly as good as my previous coffees.
So what do you think?
On days that I've left a tip. No, I think I was tip shamed.
Oh my gosh.
Right? I think my coffee lacked a little flavor, lacked what I'd experienced previously on days that I've left a tip. So does that make me trying to leave a tip the next time? Does it make me want to go to a different place? I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I think that was just coincidence. I'll tell you what, though. I feel like there is something about crafting a coffee, but at the Bucks game, like when I go and it's a $4 Sprite that I'm picking up, and it's already been sitting there, and you can see that the ice has melted a little bit, and all they have to do is grab it. Like, is that worthy of a tip?
Oh, absolutely not.
Because
absolutely not.
They ask you to tip there, too, and I'm kind of like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Maybe I'm in my own head on
and
this
the ice is already melted, man.
But the coffee wasn't as good, and I preferred it was better. 11:29 news coming up.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. We talk all the time about Tri-County Contracting, the place to go for roofs and siding, but don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also does windows. Need a new front entry door? Tri-County Contracting, or maybe a patio door that's always jammed. Get your free estimates today. They've been helping homeowners like you for 46 years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, oh yeah, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
I'm not against shopping online. In fact, you can check out our huge selection at BurkhartSportingGoods.com. But when you're ready to buy, Burkhart should be your only stop. Because here, you can grab hold of the Midwest's largest selection of baseball bats, gloves, and equipment, and take all the swings you need in our indoor batting cages to make sure you buy the right bat. And when you buy your new mitt, we'll steam and custom fit it for you right on the spot. This is Brian Burkhart, and when you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhart. If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service, you can't beat Burkhart.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
It's 11:31. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Thursday, April 3rd. Your top story, no longer in charge of lead cleanup.
I'm Jessica Tighe. Business down. Construction getting the blame.
More clouds than sun today, breezy and a high of 50 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 37. Friday, 51 your high inland, mostly cloudy skies, chance for rain at night. 44 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 11:32. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, no longer leading the lead cleanup in Milwaukee Public Schools. Milwaukee Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casilius.
Sean Kane, who has served as Senior Director of Facilities and Maintenance Services, will no longer serve in that role and is separating from the district. I will immediately begin a search for a permanent replacement to lead the district.
Kane was recently fined by the state for not keeping up his credentials since the time he was hired in 2021. 3 MPS schools remain closed while lead remediation efforts continue.
Construction on Forest Home Avenue in Milwaukee is making it difficult for customers to access businesses. Ben Isaac co-owns Knight's Gourmet Popcorn and Candies.
When the road construction started, our parking spots were all taken away. So the first couple of days that this happened, we saw a 50% decrease in our sales, just because people could not get to us or have anywhere to park.
Isaac says he's in contact with the State Department of Transportation to find a solution.
Well, 4 designs revealed to reimagine Wisconsin Route 175. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation discussing with residents what options the community will have when it comes to the future of the 6-lane highway. Washington Heights resident Robin Palm.
The alternative south adds about 35 acres to Washington Heights, which is 10% of Washington Heights will be 35 acres. So that's a big deal to add that to the neighborhood.
Wisconsin DOT officials say more meetings will take place as the project evolves.
Finalists now named for the chancellor position at UW Oshkosh. Robert Brinkman, Amy Haitapelto, Manora Singh, and Joe Whitehead will participate in campus forums next week. The current chancellor, Andrew Levitt, plans to step down in June after university faculty gave him a no-confidence vote amid an ongoing budget deficit.
Is it a nut? Is it toffee? Well, it could be stones in that bar of chocolate you're eating. Tony's Chocolonely is recalling 7 kinds of Tony's brand dark almond sea salt bar and everything bar across the United States. The company says consumers were reportedly finding small stones in the product not filtered during the almond process. The bars were sold at stores like Metcalf's Market from February 7th through March 24th.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
Hey, Easter's almost here. WTMJ's John Mercure. I highly recommend the Easter Sunday brunch at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. It's one of the truly special family dining events of the year. Do it at a very special place. My favorite place, the Fox and Hounds. The food is world-class. Everything you love for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, including prime rib and an entire room of homemade desserts. It's all you care to eat, and kids and grandkids under 3, they eat for free. Sip on a delicious old-fashioned bourbon or over 100 fine wines as you dine in one of the Fox and Hounds' 8 elegant dining rooms, maybe a mimosa. The Fox and Hounds, tucked into the Kettle Moraine Forest just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The spring drive is spectacular. So do not cook, do not clean on Easter Sunday. Relax and enjoy your family and grandkids. The Fox and Hounds friendly staff will serve you. Call and reserve today as tables fill quickly. You'll love the Easter Sunday brunch, the Fox and Hounds.
First class isn't as cheap as Coach, but while they last, you can buy high-end Beauty Rest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like a Beauty Rest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Reds are in town after the Brewers' series win over the Royals. An impressive series win, according to head coach and manager Pat Murphy.
That's a good baseball team over there. That team's playoff-bound baseball team. That's why I'm so excited, because we battled. You know, that's how we have to be. We have to battle and be relentless and never give in.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. Bucks are also in action tonight in Philadelphia against the 76ers. Just 7 games remain on the Bucks' regular season schedule, including tonight's. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. A handful of disabled vehicles just popped up on the system. 1, 2, 3 on 4194. They're right by the Milwaukee County, Racine County line, so not causing any problems, no big backups right now, but just a heads up that in both directions, north and south, on 4194 near the Milwaukee County, Racine County line, a handful of disabled vehicles, so just watch out if you're passing by.
Well, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news. It's going to be breezy, however, and cloudy with a high of 51 degrees. Overnight low of 34. Tomorrow, 51 near high, 45 near the lake. Might see some rain in the evening hours. It's currently 44 degrees in Milwaukee under cloudy skies at 11:38.
Imagine working with a national team for 2 months on a very important topic, an issue critical to the community's health, then getting word that that entire team just got fired. That was the experience this week for the Milwaukee City Health Commissioner. The national lead experts he was working with got let go. Dr. Michael Todoritis joins us live on the phone right now. Thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Of course. I'm happy to be here.
Can you walk us through this? When did you reach out to the CDC for help, and why did you feel you needed national experts involved?
That's a great question. Earlier in this year, back, I believe late January, early February, we reached out to the colleagues at the state who were in contact with experts at the CDC to add some additional support and technical assistance to our team here in Milwaukee as we respond to the lead crisis in Milwaukee Public Schools. And really their team of medical toxicologists and epidemiologists at the CDC were helping us continue to plan to respond to this crisis. And it was their expertise that was augmenting our team here on the ground. So it was quite the shock to us back on Tuesday when we got notification that they had been let go.
Dr. Todoritis, could you have seen this coming, just given the widespread and sweeping massive layoffs that were happening across the country?
It took us by shock, really, as experts across the country in public health are trying to sift through what agencies are still available, which ones have been eliminated. It's really unprecedented times. What many don't understand is these experts in their respective sections within the CDC or Health and Human Services are some of the best and brightest of our country on these specific issues. So at this point, from what I understand, there aren't any lead experts at the CDC anymore.
Jeez. So you kind of gave us a broad brush as to what they were doing, but how exactly and how often were you working with this team? What were you doing exactly?
Yeah, so back when we started working with them in February, it was almost twice a week or 3 times a week we would be in contact with their experts, trying to take what we were learning in the field, at the schools, with the children that we had screened, and bring that information back to the CDC, give it our assessment, and hear what their assessment was. So it was a regular conversation for these last couple of weeks, leading up to us actually formally requesting them to send staff to Milwaukee to help. It wasn't a full team. It was a small augment of about, I think, 3 or 4 staff. And then they would still continue to provide virtual technical assistance as their kind of boots on the ground arrived here in Milwaukee. That request was transferred to a different agency within the CDC, but we haven't heard any confirmation that they're actually going to be able to honor that request for actual physical people to come to Milwaukee.
Is that part of the loan that you were looking for from the CDC in regards to what they call disease detectives?
Yes. The staff from the Epidemiologic Intelligence Service, or EIS officers, which are also known as the disease detectives. There is one on the ground here in Wisconsin still. That person is coming to Milwaukee tomorrow. They're stationed in Madison currently, and they're going to help us walk through some of our additional testing and environmental work that we're doing right now with the school district. And then that formal request was to send even more staff within that augment of EIS or disease detectives to help us kind of triage what was happening and make a larger scale screening plan for the rest of the students at the district.
So in your estimation, Dr. Todoritis, do you have what you need to continue your lead remediation efforts and also look at other buildings in the system that may have predated 1976?
Yes, we do. So the environmental assessment is ongoing. We've been in more schools every week that goes by. We're in more schools. Today we took the step of actually lending one of our top lead experts to the district to help them just get further ahead with the plan than they are right now. And the support that the CDC was really helping was as a valid sounding board, bringing their technical expertise and scientific know-how to the issues that we're seeing on the ground. So we're confident that our epidemiologists and our clinical staff here will be able to meet the need. It's just a very hard loss for us to lose some experts at the CDC that had been really great partners up until this point.
For sure. Can you take us to that moment, how exactly you found out and just your initial reaction?
Yeah, we were actually in a meeting talking about the MPS situation, an internal briefing as we were planning for kind of some next steps with some the long-term plan that MPS proffered to us on the 21st. And I was looking through my email and noticed one from our EIS officer here in the state of Wisconsin. And I'm reading it, and all of a sudden I see that the staff that had been working with us had all been let go, and the entire division was eliminated. They didn't have complete visibility into what happened, but we reached out right away to assess what was happening and, took the next steps of making sure that we had a contingency plan in place to continue to do the work that needs to happen here.
Wow, I can't imagine. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate this hard and critical work that you're doing in our community, and we're glad that you feel confident moving forward without this national team that's now gone. That's Dr. Michael Todoritis, Health Commissioner for the City of Milwaukee. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's 11:44. Coming up next, it's our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
Siding Unlimited has done it again. Greg Matzek here for my good friends, and I mean it, good friends of mine at Siding Unlimited. Brothers Eric and Aaron Brown run the business. They took it over from their father, who started a siding business years ago. And now Siding Unlimited handles windows, doors, roofing, siding, patio projects, pavers, outdoor kitchens, you name it. Really anything to help beautify your home's exteriors. They are the best installers I have ever worked with, bar none. It's Siding Unlimited. And if you don't believe me, how about Pella? Pella Windows and Doors recognized Siding Unlimited as the National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year for the 5th time. This is a national award for Siding Unlimited, and they have earned it. It means they've got great products at Siding Unlimited, also the best installation teams you will find. Incredible stuff. Siding Unlimited in Brookfield, local and family-owned. Great people. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you. Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control. But not only that, regular care with Connect Chiro can bring back your energy. A lot of folks start with headaches, back pain, and shoulder pain. How quickly you see results varies from person to person, but time and repetition are the key to staying on track. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiro docs use a special tool for all your adjustments, targeted results, and a gentler experience. Check out the new location in Oak Creek or get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
11:45 on a Thursday, time for our weekly wellness check. We welcome in Dr. Ben Weston, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County and from the Medical College of Wisconsin. Happy Thursday, Dr. Weston.
Happy Thursday. Good to be with you.
Yeah, thanks for being with us. So after this show ends, I'm going to do the news at 1, and then I'm going to wolf down my lunch in about 3 minutes, and then come back and do the news at 1:30. Gina, our producer, can attest to this because I'm frequently eating while she's kind of working at our upstairs cafeteria. She believes I'm the fastest eater on the planet. Am I doing damage to myself, Dr. Weston?
Well, I'll tell you, I've worked in an emergency room for 13 years, so I think I might give you some competition for how fast I can eat lunch. But that said, so eating too quickly can have a negative impact on a few different things. So one is your digestion as well as your overall health, our overall health. And so when you rush through a meal, your body doesn't have enough time to tell your brain that you're actually full, and so it can result in overeating. And the other issue is it can result in these uncomfortable symptoms like indigestion and gas. You swallow more air. This can make you feel kind of uncomfortable. It also can put strain on your stomach because it's trying to break down larger parts of food.
Now, see, we've answered even more questions as to why Greg is so gassy. Now we know.
There we go. There's the title of the podcast right there, Gina. Write that down. Why Greg is so gassy.
No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, though, that's actually a reason why this is not a good thing, I know, but I don't eat lunch. I eat a breakfast, and then I pretty much wait until I'm done. And I've done that for a long time because I don't want to rush through. And I always feel like I got work, so I don't want to eat the lunch and rush through it. But I know it's nice. You should be eating your lunch, and you should do it slowly. Why does chewing your food thoroughly contribute to better health?
It is good to eat your lunch, and it is good to chew it thoroughly. It's easier on your digestive system, for one. So the breakdown of food actually starts in our mouth. Our saliva has enzymes that start to break down that food and give a little head start for the stomach. That chewing also actually tells our brain to release digestive enzymes and stomach acids that will further aid in digestion. But one of the most important benefits is that your brain has time to register that fullness to avoid overeating. So you're more likely to feel satisfied with smaller portions, which can help with weight management and prevent that digestive discomfort.
Is there an official diagnosis for food coma or meat sweats?
I think we've both experienced those, so we know that it's official, even though it's not a medical diagnosis.
Oh, fair enough. But you got to be mindful, though, of what you eat and how much, right? Portion control is obviously critical to maintaining a healthy diet and healthy weight.
Right. This mindful eating is something people talk about. I need to try it still. But it's the idea of not being distracted by anything. No TV, no phones, no other tasks. You're paying attention to your food, how it tastes, how you feel when you eat it. And this helps you to recognize when you've had enough to eat, helps you to stop before you start feeling full. People who eat mindfully also talk about enjoying their food more, which they probably do. The textures, the flavors of the meal have a better overall experience as well as greater satisfaction with smaller portions.
Okay, Dr. Weston, Monday night, I get a text from my girlfriends. Are you guys watching White Lotus? I was not, but a lot of them are. It's a very popular show right now. They were not talking about this in particular, but I do know that White Lotus has brought lorazepam into the spotlight as characters turn to the powerful anti-anxiety medication to cope with stress. What exactly is it, and how does it work to alleviate anxiety?
Well, I'll tell people listening, we are not going to do any spoilers here because I have not yet seen the third season of White Lotus. I like to wait for the whole season to come out.
No spoilers.
So no spoilers. I don't actually even know how lorazepam is integrated into the third season yet, although I will be watching it. But lorazepam, also called Ativan, it's a short-term medication. It's a benzodiazepine. It's typically prescribed to treat anxiety, panic attacks, sometimes insomnia. The way it works is the central nervous system. So on our brain, it depresses the activity of our brain. Not depression, but decreases the activity of our brain. It actually enhances the effects of a neurotransmitter that can inhibit nerve transmission. So in the end, it kind of calms us, leaves this sedative effect. It's effective certainly for short-term anxiety relief in certain cases, especially with acute stress or panic attacks. But it's really meant for short-term use due to its potential for dependence as well as side effects.
Are there any risks, Dr. Weston, of using lorazepam?
Certainly, especially long-term use. So long-term use poses significant risks. You can develop tolerance and dependence. Your body starts adapting to the drug, and so you need higher and higher doses to achieve the same effect that you had previously. So this increases the risk of physical as well as physiologic or psychologic dependence on the medication. You can also, if you stop the medication abruptly, you can have withdrawal symptoms like anxiety, insomnia, even seizures in extreme cases when the medication is suddenly stopped. So you want to follow the prescribed dosage, never self-adjust your dose. And with a medication like this, all medications, but especially a prescription medication like this, you want to have regular check-ins with your healthcare provider to say, is this still necessary, or are there other things I might be able to do that are just as effective?
Yeah, and I think that's something probably people are listening saying, okay, that sounds great, but I don't like medicine. I don't really want to take medicine if I don't have to. What are some alternatives to medication for managing anxiety?
Yeah, for sure. And there's lots of alternatives here for managing anxiety. So one effective thing is therapy, talk therapy, particularly what's called cognitive behavioral therapy. This is a pretty traditional type of therapy where you can understand and reframe your anxious thoughts. Now, there are other things outside of therapy. Regular physical activity can certainly help regulate stress hormones, boost your mood. Again, back to mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises. This has been linked with reducing anxiety and calming your mind. And then other general health behaviors, maintaining a balanced diet, maybe eating your food more slowly, and ensuring adequate sleep can also be powerful tools in managing anxiety in a long-term, healthy way.
Dr. Ben Weston joining us. It's our weekly wellness update. We do it every Thursday here. I wanted to ask you about Google and their foray into artificial intelligence and in marrying that with advancements in healthcare. I saw this recently, Dr. Weston, a number of AI updates that'll try and help further reshape healthcare, from improving health searches, maybe advancing medical research, and so on. We've talked about early detection for breast cancer potentially being influenced by AI. What is this? How is Google's AI impacting what comes up when we use the search engine?
Yeah, so I will tell you, I see a lot of patients who use Dr. Google before coming in. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not as good a thing. But the fact of the matter is a lot of people use Google to search for health information. And so what Google's done is they've used their AI models, like Gemini is what they call it, to improve its search function and provide users with theoretically more relevant and credible health content. And so there's these AI-generated summaries, and it often give you detailed, up-to-date information about common as well as rare conditions for patients to help understand their health. They also have this new What People Suggest feature. It actually organizes online discussions and shares content from other people with similar health challenges, which can help in kind of personalizing information and creating a community space for support and understanding of medical conditions.
The newsie and me, though, thinking about those potential risks. What are potential risks of patients relying on AI-powered tools and health search results?
Yeah, I mean, certainly there's a lot of information out there, but it never replaces, at least at this point, it doesn't replace the conversation with a physician or healthcare provider. I think that there's a big risk for misinformation out there, and this is the case with any AI in the stages that we're in, to have incomplete understanding, and AI might not quite offer the nuances that a healthcare provider can. Things like it may not capture the full content of a patient's medical history, or it might misinterpret complex symptoms, which can delay proper treatment. And so patients also might feel a little too empowered by AI tools and actually skip medical exams, preventative testing, especially for serious conditions like cancer or heart disease. So I think it's helpful. I think it's a supplement. It can certainly help you understand, but I wouldn't use it in isolation. It's in conjunction with the healthcare services to make sure you're getting accurate and comprehensive care.
Always great information. Our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston of Medical College of Wisconsin. Thank you, Dr. Weston. We'll check it again next week.
Thanks, Dr. Weston.
All right. Take care.
11:56 on WTMJ. News is coming up.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
Buy now, pay later services are being integrated into DoorDash.
For a lot of people, they have more months than money, right? So there's still some of the month left and they've run out of money. Those are the folks that we are kind of concerned about. As we know, there are a lot of people who are feeling the pinch. Mm-hmm. But me personally, I'm not breaking up my burrito payments into 4.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Hey, some winning magic being powered up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. Greg Matzek here. I've told you all about the sports book. You need to stop down and see that. I was there last night, as a matter of fact. Well, this April, you can prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000. You've got the Enchanted Spins slot tournament going on. Conjure up your rewards card. You can play your favorite slots and earn drawing entries. Every Thursday, including today, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let the journey begin. It's called Enchanted Spins, and it's only at Potawatomi. For more info, check it out online. And by the way, get down to that sports book. Got the games resurrecting this weekend. 2 games on Saturday. You've got the championship game in college basketball set for Monday. All sorts of great NBA and baseball action going on. Before you know it, football season will be here. See all that's new at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Premium injection foam, filling your walls and saving you money from day one. Jeff and his team at USA Insulation do a full energy audit on your home or business to see where you're losing money. Then they help you score rebates and discounts that can cut the cost of your project in half. Then they get you 0% interest on financing for up to 72 months. It's a home improvement project that actually saves you money. Tell Jeff Vinny sent you to usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Jake suffered with carpal tunnel syndrome. Tingling numbness in my hands and fingers, not sleeping well at night, tossing and turning, trying to manage with pain pills and stretching, and it just wasn't helping. He didn't want the traditional invasive carpal tunnel surgery. I had seen people with bandages and scars and clubs for hands. I just don't have time to be incapable of doing things for 6 to 8 to 10 weeks. Then he learned about the Ovation Hand Institute and the Ovation Technique, an ultra minimally invasive procedure done in the office. I wanted to get it looked at sooner than later. So I had the virtual consult. It was very thorough as far as like I was sitting in a doctor's office. I was booked for the procedure 2 weeks later, had my right hand done. Very quick procedure. It was really great. That very night when I went home, it was the first time in probably 3 months my hand did not wake me up. Book an appointment with the Ovation Hand Institute and find out if you're a candidate for the Ovation Technique. Probably the most surprising thing was how quickly I was able to do things again. I'm cooking dinner, I'm doing yard work and all that kind of stuff the next day. Visit ovationhand.com. ovationhand.com.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Sports lovers love us. Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12:01. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, April 3rd. Your top story, a shakeup at MPS.
I'm Jessica Tighe. A Madison supervisor steps down.
Mostly cloudy today, breezy, a high of 50 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 37, up to 51 inland on Friday. It's 45 degrees, mostly cloudy in Milwaukee. At 12:02 from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, 3 MPS schools remain closed as lead remediation efforts, as the man in leading the lead cleanup efforts in Milwaukee Public Schools is out. Sean Kane was the Senior Director of Facilities and Maintenance for MPS. He had been under fire for not having the proper credentials for the job. Milwaukee Health Commission Dr. Mike Totoritis.
I never want to see anybody lose their job or their role. However, I do think at this moment it was warranted to help move us into this next step.
MPS Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casilius confirms that a revised action plan for lead removal will be available next week.
A pregnant teenager from Beaver Dam, missing since early February, has been found near Omaha, Nebraska. and her alleged abductor is now in custody.
A missing juvenile that was reported missing out of Wisconsin is at Love's at this time.
Audio from Broadcastify capturing the moment authorities in Sarpy County, Nebraska were informed that 17-year-old Sophia Franklin had been spotted at a truck stop near Omaha overnight Wednesday. Franklin was traveling with her alleged abductor and father of her unborn child, 40-year-old Gary Day, who authorities said was driving the pair in a semi.
The juvenile stated that her vehicle had broken down in Oregon.
Day is in custody on $5,000 bond, while Franklin is waiting to be reunited with her family. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, the fear of tariffs raising grocery prices for things like imported avocados have some folks in California taking matters into their own hands.
If you like big avocados, how about that one right there?
Gary Craig owns a nursery in Richmond, California, now selling avocado trees starting at around 5 feet tall so customers can buy mature trees that'll begin producing avocados to avoid the tariffs.
Everybody needs an avocado tree for not only the tariffs to save some money, but for the environmental ethic and the fact that you'll be the coolest kid in the block if you're giving avocados away.
Depending on the size of the tree, customers are paying $250 to $950 to have their own avocado factory in their backyard. Alex Stone, EBC News.
A Dane County Board supervisor is stepping down from her position, citing rising rent prices in downtown Madison. WISC TV's Meryl Hubbard.
Elizabeth Doyle has lived downtown since 2018, but she says for the last 3 years, her monthly rent has been going up by about $100 each year.
So it's gotten to the point where it's just not sustainable to continue renting downtown.
But moving out of downtown meant stepping down from her position as the Dane County Board supervisor representing the downtown area.
It's just one of those hard decisions where I feel very sad to be leaving the position, but it was the best financial decision for my family to do this.
Overall rent in Madison is growing by 2.5% per year. That's more than double the national average.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything deeply in the red today. As expected, Dow is currently down about 1,300 points at 40,945. NASDAQ off nearly 900 points today at 16,739. S&P 500 also way off today, off about 215 points. It's nearly 4% at 54.55. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wildy?
Yeah,
everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in making the most of what you love. Making sure your money is as well spent as your time. So as you start your spring projects, we have the value you need to make them your own. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 estate fertilizer purchase, $5 off 3-pound bags of estate grass seed, just $9.99. Plus, new colors of men's and women's Carhartt pocket tees, 2 for $30. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Hey, boaters! Some call them oddball parts, but we call them a huge part of our inventory. Dave Doro here from Kendor Marine. With thousands of boat parts and supplies stacked right here in our store, you won't have to look elsewhere. If you need it, chances are we got it, along with expert advice to get your job done right. Hey, boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. KendorMarine.com. Hey, boaters! It's a boater's do-it-yourselfer's dream store. Kendor Marine stocks thousands of boat parts and supplies. Just about everything you'd ever need to keep your boat up and running. Whether it's common or something you think might be discontinued, you can bet on us having it. So don't be surprised when we have just what you need. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. KendorMarine.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. It's out with the Royals and in with the Reds. Brewers homestand continues tonight after Pat Murphy's club took 2 of 3 from Kansas City.
That's a good baseball team over there. That team's a playoff-bound baseball team. That's why I'm so excited, because we battled. That's how we have to be. We have to battle and be relentless and never give in.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. Bucks also in action against the 76ers in Philadelphia. Milwaukee begins the day in 6th place in the Eastern Conference playoff race. Here tonight's game on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We've had a handful of disabled vehicles out in the system. Most were not causing any problems, but there is a new one that just popped up. It's on the ramp from 35th Street to I-94 East, and there is a significant backup around this. I think part of it is due to this disabled vehicle because it's on the ramp, so you have people that are trying to get on the highway, and they're like, oh man, there's a car that's broken down right there, so they're slowing down, and it's kind of awkward as you're trying to merge. So I think that's part of the problem, but also we just have that bottleneck around the curve. So once again, heads up if you're traveling that way. There is a car that's broken down on the ramp from 35th Street to I-94 East, and there is a significant backup around that.
Primarily cloudy today. It'll be breezy as well, a high of 50 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 37. 51 the high on Friday. Chance for rain in the evening hours. Saturday's high just 49. Sunday's high 46. Monday, might get some snow mixed in with a high of 38. 45 degrees and full of clouds in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
We've got like a team outing at the Brewers game tonight. I'm very excited about this. So I wore my Brewers hoodie today.
I'll be changing later.
Okay. Gina's got her Brewers stuff on. Jeff Sherman, before we walked out of the studio today, said, hey, I like your Brewers thing. It's kind of understated. It's not too bold or flashy.
Agree.
And it's a very comfortable hoodie. And I explained the story behind it. I bought it at spring training. They've got a very nice team store at American Family Fields of Phoenix. And the week I was there was kind of a rough weather week. It was like 36 degrees and rainy when I got to the stadium on a given day. And I knew they weren't going to play, but I still had work to do. But in order to get my core body temperature up to a reasonable level, I had to go buy a sweatshirt in Arizona.
It does look cozy. I have to know, though, and if you're watching us on streaming right now, you might notice this. What's going on in the sleeve? Is that a pocket you can unzip? Can you make that short sleeve with just a little zipper?
No, I don't think so. It might just be a yogurt stain or something. I don't know.
I think it's just a line, but it kind of looks like you could go in there and, Lululemon pants, they sometimes have like a hidden little zipper. And
oh, that is interesting. There's like a little, I've never noticed this. There's like a seam here. So if I wanted to just sort of rip off the sleeves, which I don't intend to do, I could make it a short sleeve hoodie.
That'd be fun.
Well, there you go. Maybe Pat Murphy would do something like that. Very interesting. 12:11 on WTMJ. We're following some big stories as we flip to the noon hour.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
National workers helping the city of Milwaukee address its lead crisis are out. The city's health commissioner was working with an environmental team that's part of the CDC, and that team was just let go, part of the sweeping layoffs of federal health workers. Milwaukee's health commissioner, Dr. Michael Totoridis, joined us during our last hour of Wisconsin's Midday News, and he told us how he found out.
We were actually in a meeting talking about the MPS situation, an internal briefing as we were planning for kind of some next steps with the long-term plan that MPS proffered to us on the 21st. And I was looking through my email and noticed one from our EIS officer here in the state of Wisconsin. And I'm reading it, and all of a sudden I see that the staff that had been working with us had all been let go.
All let go. The CDC lost about 2,500 workers on Tuesday, and one of the divisions that was axed was the lead poisoning prevention and surveillance branch. Now, Dr. Totoridis did tell us he is confident with the city's plan moving forward, but man, this is a big blow.
At a key time for MPS, right? A very key time as they're trying to figure out the lead issue, just the scope of it here in the city of Milwaukee. Well, the clock is ticking on TikTok, social media platform, once again facing a ban in the United States. An extension granted in January comes to an end on Saturday, but Several companies are coming forward to try and save the day at the 11th hour.
This is telling ABC News Amazon, the biggest e-commerce platform in the world, created by billionaire Jeff Bezos, is joining the bidding war, reportedly sending a letter to the Trump administration. Also making a bid, mobile tech company AppLovin, and a group including tech giant Oracle. Even if President Trump approves the deal, China still has to sign off.
So is it Amatalk then? Tixon maybe?
I can't wait to see. I kind of forgot about this. There's been so much going on, so many newsworthy topics that I kind of forgot about TikTok for a hot second.
Well, back in the news here because of this expiration, and under law, TikTok's Chinese-owned parent company, ByteDance, is required to sell the platform to an approved buyer or take it offline in the United States. Insert Amazon, Oracle, you name it, right? Well, Trump had suggested he could further extend the pause on the ban. He also expects the deal will be done by Saturday. Trump's got millions of followers, by the way, on TikTok. He and Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden launched his TikTok account in the Super Bowl over a year ago, leading into that next presidential race, which, of course, he bowed out of. But nonetheless, both recent presidents have immense following on TikTok.
Yeah, you got to go where the people are, and they're definitely on TikTok. A big story here locally. The mother of the young Milwaukee woman who was killed and dismembered last year is now suing two local businesses. Sheena Scarborough, Shawnae Robinson's mom, has filed suit against Twisted Fisherman and Dukes on Water. The claim is that the bars overserved the 19-year-old until she was incapacitated, resulting in her death. According to the lawsuit, Robinson was not asked for valid ID before being served alcohol. The lawsuit comes a year after Robinson's murder. Scarborough joined us here at Wisconsin's Midday News in February.
It tends to get worse as the days go on. I have days where, I don't want to move. The way that I lost my daughter so brutally, it's just traumatizing for me daily. But I take it one day at a time.
The trial for Robinson's accused killer, Maxwell Anderson, is scheduled for the end of May.
12:14 on WTMJ. Discussion on the future of 794 starting to heat up again. We'll give you the details. Joel Brennan joins us in studio after this.
While being the first pro baseball team is your claim to fame,
What's going on in there? What? That light.
those red jerseys remind us that your franchise is in flames.
Oh, the red. Yeah, it's a chicken roaster sign.
The Brewers host the Reds at American Family Field.
Back and Churio makes the catch as he collides with the wall.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner, it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired, and we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
We can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Oh, windy today, a lot of clouds, a high of 50 degrees, and we could get there. It's just not going to be terribly sunny. Windy as well, overnight low 36. Tomorrow, 51 inland, 45 near the lake, and a chance of rain in the evening hours. It is 44 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:17. He is back. He is refreshed from his spring break trip to Cancun. Joel Brennan, the president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee, joins us in studio with a big smile on his face. Welcome back from Mexico.
Well, I'm smiling because I get to be with you guys.
Yeah, welcome back. We missed you last week.
Good to have you here. So all sorts of discussion, Joel. We've had it for well over a year now. There's websites, there's discussion threads on the future of 794. Back in April, Mayor Cavalier Johnson said, yes, I'm open to looking at this and the potential redesign. Those in favor want a nice neighborhood feel, right? Easy connection to the third ward. Get rid of this weird connecting overpass and stretch of freeway. Detractors are looking at it saying, no, you're going to lengthen my commute time. Traffic is going to be worse. But we know this. The life expectancy of this strip of land is coming to an end. Something has to happen, and discussions are starting to ramp up again.
Yeah, and actually, these discussions have been going on. We had a presentation that we got from WISDOT yesterday and HNTB. The discussions actually started like in 2022. I mean, so this has been going on now for 3 years. No construction, regardless of what gets chosen, nothing is going to be constructed until about 2030, and they still have to find all the financial aspects of this. But I would just say, and this is what I said in the group that we were with yesterday, I think DOT, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, has been pretty transparent in the way they've gone about this, trying to get as much community input. These are issues where people have great passion. Some people want there to be, if there's an opportunity to open up 15 acres of development in downtown Milwaukee, they're say, yes, absolutely, doesn't matter what it would take. There are others who are, kind of would say, look, there are important business interests. There are lakefront destinations like Summerfest, and the disruption of this for several years is something that we have to take very seriously. And then there's I think an emerging kind of middle ground where there's opportunity to maybe have a bit fewer on and off ramps, make it a little bit more, just make it more understandable, and open up some areas for development. So like yesterday, and there are going to be a lot more public discussion on this, and the Department of Transportation is going to have some public meetings on this in the next few months. So it's just an opportunity for us to look at what's this going to be like for the next 25, 30, 40 years. I think the original infrastructure is from the 1960s here, and so with some improvements or some things that have been made. So it's high time we have the conversation. But I'm just kind of hoping that we don't get into the high stakes showdown where it's either or everybody feels like there's only that their side has to win. Inevitably, the other side has to lose. If we can find a way for there to be what's best for the community for the next 25 years, I think that's part of what our responsibility is.
No matter what happens, I feel like 25 years down the road, people will still be talking about that. Remember when it was like this, or remember that? I wanted to ask you about this, too. This is really cool. Greater Milwaukee Committee is hosting the kickoff for the next cohort of Young Americans Leaders Program. This is happening tonight. What is YELP?
Yelp, yes. So Yelp it's a program that's run out of the Harvard Business School, and it's been ongoing for about 10 years. And Milwaukee has been invited to participate, started about 7 years ago. And what this is they bring together a group of about 10 cities around the country. Each of those cities brings about a cohort of 10 leaders, and they don't have to all be young. I think young at heart is kind of the notion here. But it's they want it to be cross-sector. So that, just to give you an example of some of the participants we have this year, we have an alderwoman from the city of Milwaukee. We've got somebody from the fire department. We've also got somebody representing American Family and Milwaukee Tool. So, it's public, private. There are nonprofit representatives. The Bader Philanthropies is sending somebody this year. And they get together. They go to Harvard for a week in June. They talk to people peers from around the country, but they also get to wrestle with what are the big issues and challenges in urban America right now, and how does a group of young, talented people on their way up in the community, how do they band together to do this? And so, and now we've got probably 70 who have done this, 60 to 70 who have done this in the community. They continue to work on things, and we keep seeing them working together on public policy issues moving forward. And that's the way it should be. We should have people from throughout the community who come from different diverse backgrounds who are ready to stand and face the challenges, because we got plenty of challenges in urban America. We got plenty of disruption that's going on at the national level. And we're only going to be as strong as we can make sure that there are real, true connections and people who are coming up with local ideas and local solutions for the challenges we have.
Joel, is this linked in any way to the Harvard Business School Club of Wisconsin, or is that something totally separate?
That's separate, although it's funny you mentioned that, because I would say, so I've been the recipient of scholarships from the Harvard Business School Club of Wisconsin in my nonprofit journey I've been able to go to the Harvard Business School a couple of times. And this week, I was with some other recipients and members of the Harvard Business School Club of Wisconsin as we interviewed candidates for scholarships from the nonprofit world to go there this summer. So I've been involved in that. It's separate, but it's another way in which Milwaukee and Harvard are intricately connected. In this case, it's Wisconsin and Harvard, because these are not limited to just Milwaukee area leaders. But I can just also tell you that having the chance to interview 5 great nonprofit leaders from around the state, we are well served in that community. But we really gain by being able to send a couple of these people off to a week at Harvard with like 140 of their colleagues from around the country and around the world, and they come back with lessons about, they use the case method at Harvard Business School, so they learn a lot, but they also get to contribute a lot to people from every other place you can think of around the world.
You mentioned 10 other cities are also sending a group for that week in June. Do you know some of those cities? Because I'm kind of curious, like what that brain is going to be like with our Milwaukee people.
Yeah, I don't have them all off the top of my head, but I think Memphis has been one. There, urban areas, maybe Boston and some others are in Virginia, I think have been part. Seattle may have been part of this, and I could be wrong on some of those, but they're like cities to Milwaukee and ones that wrestle with very similar issues that we do. And, and so I think it's a great opportunity. And one of the things, a distinction that I think Milwaukee has that other communities don't always have is the people from Harvard tell me that the Milwaukee cohort often knows each other better than some of these other cities. So
I believe it.
We all think that Milwaukee is like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon city. Like there is that in Milwaukee, and we also make a point. So they'll get together tonight, but they'll also start meeting between now and June, so that they have a little bit of that collegiality and they get to know each other even a little deeper before they head out for this week in June.
What a fascinating event. What a fascinating idea to put things together and close it full circle. Some of these people might be involved intricately in the redesign of 794 and what's next for our city as we try and grow forward.
And there are people who have done this, who have gone off, and Graham Anderson from Milwaukee Tool been part of this, but he did something that a legislative change that it was kind of a Mr. Smith goes to Madison, that kind of an effort, and he got some legislation change. So that's the kind of thing that gets inspired. But it's just great to have a group like this, because we have, and we should celebrate the really talented people we have in Milwaukee, but we also need to make sure that we're investing in them and ensuring that they're continuing to get more and do better, because they need to continue to do right by the city.
Real quickly, what's it like to be dad right now and go and take your kid off to a college visit? What's it like these days?
It's hard, but like I will tell you, we came home from Cancun via Providence. My son is interested in Providence College. Being on college campuses is also energizing. Like, after a week away, you're kind of dragging, but you get around a campus and you see the energy there. There is still energy and vitality on college campuses, and it's a great place for development of youth. If I could go back, if any one of us could go back, we probably would at this point.
I had no more frightening mascot than the Providence Friar, though. I can tell you that much. I mean, it's not even close. That thing freaks me out.
Well, they have another one that's like a dog or something else, because the Friar is so scary. They moved on to another one that's less scary.
I'm telling you, man.
I didn't even get one at Indiana University. What's a Hoosier? Not really a mascot.
I bring you tidings from my daughter. I was just talking to her, the Richmond Spider, who was here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was just talking to her on the way in, and she said, well, it's not going to be nearly as good as when I was with you on the radio.
Of course.
So there you go.
Different. Of course. Joel Brennan, always good to check in, Joel. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you, guys.
12:26, news coming up.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Accurate Basement Repair and Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. What a great night for it, right? Put it on the table. Everybody is happy when it's Palermo's, made right in Wisconsin. For 60 years, that is doing it right decade upon decade. Find Palermo's wherever you like to shop. Great deal on Screamin' Sicilian Tavern Style right now at Festival Foods through April 8th. $5.99 for Screamin' Sicilian Tavern Style at Festival Foods. Make it a Palermo's night in your household and celebrate Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters for your home or your business. They came out, did the exterior of our house. The team walked around the entire house with me, pointed out a couple spots that I needed some extra work done. I didn't even realize it. The team's at CertaPro. They've got your back. Call and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. It's CertaPro Painters, the best in the business. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. It's CertaPro Painters. Took care of me, they'll take care of you. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
And now, about your house. It's your house, and it's your yard, and all your stuff and your people and their stuff are there. You only leave it for vacations. Short vacations, right? Here's some insight from my friend Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited.
You're on a vacation and absolutely loving your short-term hangout. The pool, the patio, the outdoor bar, the fire pit, the lights, the music, everything. This is a good life. However, it's exactly what a vacation is, short term. 1 week and you're headed back home, only to hope you can hit repeat 51 weeks later. Outdoor Living Unlimited is the company to recreate that amazing vacation feel in your very own backyard so you can experience that vacation all year. Outdoor Living Unlimited uses your vacation ideas as well as any other pictures, videos, thoughts, and stories you can share to produce a design that will fit your backyard, your lifestyle, and your dreams. Still need ideas? Go to Outdoor Living Unlimited's Instagram page for even more ideas, pictures, and videos. It's as easy as a phone call to start, and Outdoor Living Unlimited can begin putting together a design that starts with the deck and leads to an outdoor kitchen and fire pit. Let us add a screen room with a heating element so you can enjoy Wisconsin's outdoors longer. You can still plan that 1 week vacation. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build your favorite 51-week destination.
At Outdoor Living Unlimited, the concept is staycation. A great new deck, a patio leading to your in-ground pool with the outdoor kitchen along the way. Sit in the shade of the automated pergola. No bags to pack, no airport, and it's always there for you. See Outdoor Living Unlimited's Instagram page or see it all displayed for you inside at Outdoor Living Unlimited's Outside In showroom in Waukesha. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Countries reacting following President Trump's sweeping tariffs plan, starting with 25% tariffs on foreign autos today. And next week, a 10% baseline for all global goods. And later this month, some countries face even higher duties. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney says the tariffs violate international trade, hurts consumers, and changes the landscape for longtime trading partners.
3 different sets of U.S. tariffs remain in place and will continue to pose significant threats to Canadian workers and Canadian businesses.
Canada and other nations say they will respond with counter tariffs. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer today on the Senate floor says it will harm the U.S. economy in the long run.
Yesterday, Donald Trump made one of the dumbest decisions he has ever made as president, and that's saying something.
President Trump maintains the tariffs will bring manufacturing jobs to the U.S. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, suing bars for being liable in the death of Sade Robinson.
Robinson's family is suing both Twisted Fisherman and Dukes on Water, claiming both bars overserved a 19-year-old Robinson, quote, until she was incapacitated, resulting in her death, end quote. According to the lawsuit, Robinson was not asked for a valid ID before being served alcohol at both bars. The lawsuit comes a year after Robinson's murder. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
no longer getting federal help with lead remediation at Milwaukee Public Schools. Members of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention were actively working with the Milwaukee Health Department on the district's lead crisis. Milwaukee Health Commissioner Dr. Mike Totoritis joined us on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Twice a week or 3 times a week, we would be in contact with their experts, trying to take what we were learning in the field, at the schools, with the children that we had screened, and bring that information back to the CDC, give it our assessment, and hear what their assessment was.
Totoritis learned on Tuesday that the CDC team was let go, leaving no lead experts at the agency. He remains confident, however, that MHD and MPS can continue the work to remove lead from schools.
A jury finds a Milwaukee police officer guilty of negligence. Antonio Obregon ran over a suspect during a high-speed chase in 2020. The injured man, Ravid Smith, had sued the city and Obregon after the incident. Dash camera video showed Obregon stopping to let his partner out of the squad after Smith crashed into another vehicle during the case. He then drove forward over Smith. Obregon admitting in court he should have seen Smith on the road.
Was Mr. Smith's body in plain sight? Based off this video, yes.
Smith was awarded nearly $58,000 for medical expenses and pain and suffering.
A pregnant teenager who went missing from Beaver Dam was found overnight at a truck stop near Omaha, Nebraska.
A missing juvenile that was reported missing out of Wisconsin is at Love's at this time.
The audio courtesy of Broadcastify, as authorities say they were alerted by a pair of truckers that 17-year-old Sophia Franklin was doing laundry inside the truck stop.
She is possibly several months pregnant at this time as well.
Franklin was traveling with her alleged abductor and the father of her unborn child, 40-year-old Gary Day, in a semi after Franklin said the Buick they had been using broke down in Oregon. Day is now in custody on $5,000 bond. Franklin is waiting to be reunited with her family. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, big changes in store for Milwaukee's Public Museum. Stonecast's Director of Production and Engineering, Chris Zajac, updates WTMJ on the progress made to the exterior panels.
Right now, we're about 30% produced. We have plans to be finished with production by mid-June, which directly aligns with when we are supposed to show up on site and start erecting these panels for the building.
The museum is scheduled to debut in 2027.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors. Grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Nate from Best Electric. We are a second-generation, family-owned and operated business in West Allis. Our motto is no job too big or too small, and we stand by our work. Whether you are looking to add recessed lighting, more outlets, or troubleshooting any electrical problems, I'm confident in Best Electric's ability to solve any electric issues. With over 50 years in business, our experienced technicians have the expertise to fix it right the first time. Connect with the best. Visit bestelect.com today.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wildy?
Yeah,
Everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Reds tonight at American Family Field. 4-game series, I should say, after defeating the Royals in 2 of 3 games.
That's a good baseball team over there. That team's a playoff-bound baseball team. That's why I'm so excited, because we battled. You know, that's how we have to be. We have to battle and be relentless and never give in.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. And the Bucks take on the 76ers tonight in Philadelphia. Milwaukee begins the day in 6th place in the Eastern Conference playoff race. We'll go to Philly in just a couple of minutes and chat with Bucks play-by-play voice Dave Kane. You can hear tonight's game on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock.
Let's get an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. We still have this disabled vehicle on the ramp from 35th Street to I-94 East. It is just in a busy spot, and traffic is trying to merge onto the highway and then having to go around. This looks like a van that's off to the side right there. And just a little bit further up, you also have the construction barrels out that are closing off a lane. They're basically the right-hand lane. So you've got two things going on. You got the construction, you've got this disabled vehicle, and because of all that, you have a backup. Disabled vehicle on the ramp from 35th Street to I-94 East. It's causing some problems, and so is the construction.
Lots of clouds today, a high of 50 degrees, wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 36. 51 your high on Friday, chance for some rain in the evening. Saturday's high 49. Sunday, partly cloudy and a high of 46. 45 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:38.
Your all-you-need-to-know segment, centered around the Milwaukee Bucks.
The long wait has ended. After a half-century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
It's Bucks Insiders, every Thursday at 12:35. Sponsored by Best Electric and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Our weekly discussion of all things Bucks. It is the first Thursday of the month. That means it's time to check in with our friend Dave Kane, who is in Philly hunting down a cheesecake. Hello, Dave.
Cheesecake or a cheesesteak? Maybe both.
Yeah, both. Why not? Right? You got some hours to kill before game time tonight. Make it both.
I got some calories to put in the body, that's for sure. I am the right man for the job, so I'm glad to be with you. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing well here, right? So Jessica's a Bucks season ticket holder. She's been to, 30-plus games this year?
Yes, we had a couple we had to give away, but other than that, we're there. And so I have questions. I'm worried. This has been such a roller coaster. We started off real low, then we got high, then we went down again. And now we have, a number of our key players out. You got Bobby Portis, who is out because of the suspension. You have Dame. We talked with Peter Fagan last week about Dame and how serious the deep vein thrombosis is. We're worried about him. And then, Giannis, he's still, it feels like day-to-day sometimes with that lingering left foot sprain. But I'm curious with what you're seeing and what you're hearing, anything new on Dame? Because we knew that he could be out for the rest of the season, but also that he's undergoing treatment. Is there any chance we get him back?
Yeah, and Jessica, I will be your ray of sunshine here on an otherwise cloudy day in Philly. Because, and again, this is, I will preface this by saying that information on injury information, they're not feeding to us, and they're not putting out there very regularly, at least.
Yeah.
And there was a report, though, a national report put out yesterday suggesting that there is confidence that Dame will be back to play and will start getting active again in the next week or week and a half. So we'll see if that proves to be true. Bucks could certainly use him. But, if there's a silver lining in this thing, I really do believe that it's the play of Ryan Rollins. This is a guy that is a diamond in the rough. The Bucks have, I guess you could almost say, kind of stumbled upon because he was a two-way guy. He gets converted to a standard contract in the last 4 games. He's always been good defensively, but offensively, he's been putting up career highs in 3 of the last 4 games and really seems to be finding his confidence and his flow and understanding of the game. So I hope that's something that translates not only now, but down the road for this Bucks team, because you do need some younger players that you're going to have to develop and start playing because, as we all know, this roster is not getting any younger.
Well, and that sounds good for depth in the postseason, right? But as we've seen the last couple of years, Dave, if you don't have all your horses in the postseason, it leads to a quick exit. Giannis injured last year, Chris Middleton out the year before that, and it's just been a very tough go for the Bucks in the postseason. Without Dame in the postseason, it's hard to be overly confident, but I think there is maybe a silver lining in the development of some of these younger players that could end up being great role players in a postseason series, so long as Dame is healthy.
Yeah, you're right. You got to have Dame. I mean, that's if this Bucks team wants to reach where it's trying to go, which is the NBA Finals, they absolutely 100% have to have Damian Lillard available. And I think that you're going to try to muddle your way to get there to the point when he comes back. I think this team can be very competitive even without him. But look, it's just realistically, this team was built around two guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. So, but in addition to those guys, to your point, yeah, you got to have everybody. It's all hands on deck come playoff time. As you guys saw during that championship run of 2021, it was guys like Pat Connaughton stepping up, Bobby Portis stepping up, PJ Tucker stepping up, these other guys that played their roles so well. It's essential for a playoff run, and I do think Rollins could be one of those guys. I think you started to develop some of those guys. I think, and also the trade that brings in Kevin Porter Jr., he can be one of those guys. And Jericho Sims, if he can come back, I think he's a guy that people haven't maybe talked about that much, and understandably, it's a limited sample size that we've seen him. But when he's been here, he was a big piece for the Bucks, and I think they've missed him, particularly in light of the fact that Bobby Portis has been out in specifically on the glass. I mean, you're looking at a Bucks rebounding core that was third in the league in rebounding percentage on the defensive side of things. Since that time, over the last 9 games, they've been out rebounded by an average of 10 rebounds a game, and they've ranked 27th in the league in that time in defensive rebounding percentage. So that's been a big part of the challenge the Bucks have been facing, is just not having that size, asking guys like Brook Lopez and Giannis to do some things that they aren't typically used to doing, boxing out a little more than they normally have to in their normal sets. But that's just the reality, and you got to fight your way through it. And then, you got to figure out a way to jive everybody together pretty quickly, assuming everybody does get back in time for the playoffs.
How much do you think it helps that Dame is on the sidelines? I mean, you could have some teams where you have a star player who gets hurt, who just, is out there. He's in his street clothes, right? And he's sitting there. But I noticed the other day, Dame, while he's hurt, he's on the sidelines, yes, in his street clothes, but it looked like he was kind of playing coach. And I can't remember if it was to Rollins or who exactly it was, but he was there talking almost like, did you see what happened there? Have you noticed that? And how big of a role does he play, even though he's not in the game right now?
Well, there's a reason that Damian Lillard was voted Teammate of the Year a couple of years back. I mean, he really does take pride in that part of the game, being a mentor to younger guys and being the vet, for some of these younger guys. Going back to his days in Portland, I think Gary Trent was his rookie, maybe when he was in Portland back in those days. And so he's worked with these guys when they're younger, and he likes passing that knowledge on. So, yeah, I think it's really great to have that kind of leadership. The locker room is a big part of this thing. Tell you what, you'd like to have your leadership on the floor rather than on the bench. That's the ultimate kind of leadership, and that's kind of what we're hoping to get. But yeah, is while we're looking for silver linings, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Bucks voice, play-by-play voice, Dave Kane joining us from Philly. Bucks take on the 76ers tonight. So the Bucks have not yet clinched or locked down a playoff berth. It's just a matter of time before they do, Dave. Does seeding matter at all to this team right now? They're in the number 6 seed. They could grow to the number 4 seed, right? They've got room to move. They could drop as well, I suppose. But how much does seeding matter to this team?
Well, it depends what seed we're talking about. Certainly dropping to the 7 matters because then you're in the play-in tournament. That's not going to happen, though. You've only got, I think it's 7 games left and you're up by 5. So you don't have to worry about that. It's getting much more challenging to envision a scenario where the Bucks move up to 4 as well, which would give you home court in the first round. So that's something they're going to have to live with. Now, the difference between 5 and 6, I also think that's a pretty big jump because, look, going to Indiana is not going to be and nothing's going to be easy in the playoffs. But I think if you have to go to New York in that first round, New York team that's had their way with the Bucks, that figures to be getting Jalen Brunson back, who has been a real Bucks killer here over the last couple of years. I think that's a much stiffer challenge for this Milwaukee team in a 7-game series than Indiana is. And that's not to say I don't think the Bucks can beat New York. I think they can. But I think it becomes a lot harder then when you couple that with the prospect of then having to go and not only beat New York, then you have to go beat Boston. And then the next round, assuming everything holds to chalk, you'd have to beat Cleveland. And then, oh, by the way, you'll go to the championship round and you'll have to play probably Oklahoma City, assuming, again, chalk, which is no safe assumption these days. But you get my point. I think it's a lot harder path to a title if you don't get that 5 seed versus the 6. And, some people may be out there saying, hey, you're crazy. Are you even really seriously talking about title? But I still am, because I think this team has a really high ceiling. I really do. I don't think they've realized that ceiling yet. And I think it's going to be hard to realize that ceiling given the fact that some of these guys that have been out are out at the end of the year, and you're going to have to really deal with that chemistry piece and putting the cohesion together when these guys come off the shelf. But I do believe that this team is built to win, and it's built to win now. but everybody's got to be at their peak form. You got to have Damian Lillard, the all-star top 75 Damian Lillard, coupled with Giannis Antetokounmpo top 75, and all those role guys we were just talking about have to be playing in that role well too. So, but I do think the potential is there, and I do think there are some paths that are preferable to others. So a long answer to a simple question, but there you have it.
Yeah, well, I love that thinking, Dave. How much do we need Bobby Portis back, and do we feel like once he comes back, there's going to be a little kind of moment where everybody needs to mesh again, or does he just roll on in like he was never gone?
Well, that's the $1 million question, and I don't have the answer to that. I do think that one thing I know, he will bring energy, and that's something that this group has needed at times. I think that presence, that intangible that he brings, look, his first game is going to be against Minnesota at home next week. You can bet that place is going to be bumping when they see the mayor step onto the court for the first time in 25 games. And I can tell you one other thing. He's going to have a hard time keeping the horses in the stable himself. I can only imagine. I would tell you that there may be no one in that locker room that loves the game of basketball quite as much as Bobby does. Maybe Brooke Lopez. That's just my sense being around those guys just love the game. And for him to have to stay out this time has got to have been torture for him. So for him to get back there, he brings a lot of things, and it's not just, his offense and his ability to get rebounds. It is that intangible. I think he brings some real energy for this group and some leadership too.
So Dave, you got a fefew hours till game time. What do you do? You're in Philly. What do you do between now and the time you need to get to the arena?
Oh, well, we were talking about cheesesteaks. So oftentimes I've learned, these are the things you learn as a veteran. I've learned that we get cheesesteaks after the game. The team gets those.
Ooh.
So sometimes I get them before, and I'm like, wait a second. So I'm having cheesesteaks for lunch, and I'm having a cheesesteak for dinner. I love cheesesteaks, but it's a bit much for my arteries. So my plan is, I actually was told about a good Thai place that's a couple blocks from where we're staying. So that's on my hit list here. I'm about to head there when I'm done with you guys, and then do a little work over there, and then head to the arena, and away we go.
So is that a late lunch or an early dinner?
In my world, that would constitute a late lunch, because my dinner won't be until about probably 9:30 or 10 tonight. So you got to kind of stagger these things. We probably won't get to Miami until about 2 in the morning. So we kind of do live the lives of vampires in many ways. You live in the darkness.
Not an easy life on the road, but a fun one.
Oh, it's not bad. It beats working, I'll tell you that much.
Well, good stuff. We'll be listening tonight. Tonight's Bucks game can be heard on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock. Dave Kane from Philadelphia. Appreciate it, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, guys. Always enjoy it. Take care.
You do the same. Bucks Insider is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors and Best Electric.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different.
And special.
And loaded with personality.
And one more thing. But you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
And don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. You know the ones. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security get garnished, garnished or a lien put on your house so that you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a solution to solve your situation now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. The first meeting is free. Call now, 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your AccuNet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Kind of a blustery day today, a high of 51 degrees, wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour, and primarily cloudy. Overnight low of 37 up to 51 tomorrow, 45 near the lake, chance for rain in the evening. 46 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:53. A lot of tariff talk today, of course.
It's tit-for-tat tariffs.
It's something like that, right? The market's, of course, cratering right now, and we'll see what it means long term. What is this about Donald Trump using tariffs on penguins?
No people.
Did I miss something on this?
No people in that area, just penguins.
Just penguins. Just penguins. On the Senate floor today, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer blasted President Trump's economic policies, as he's been known to do, describing yesterday's announcement in the Rose Garden as tax day rather than liberation day. Here's what he had to say.
Donald Trump is using tariffs in the dumbest way imaginable. In fact, Donald Trump slapped tariffs on penguins and not on Putin.
More penguins than people. Trump imposes tariffs on remote islands. This is one of the many stories here on the topic. Some more sparsely populated territories in the world that do little trade with the United States have been caught up in the trade war. And some of these locations just tend to have more penguins than they do people.
Okay, no matter what you think about the tariffs, whether you're for them and you're like, it's just going to be a little bit of pain, but it's going to be better for us in the end, or you hate tariffs, it is kind of amusing to check out these stories now coming down on the penguins and tariffs because they have these pictures. I mean, beautiful shots, and then it's just like a group of the penguins like looking around like, what's going on? What'd he do?
Yeah, what did the penguin do, right? Just the penguin. I like penguins. I know they stink, but I could stand all day at the penguin exhibit at the zoo.
Well, do they stink or does the stink?
Well, it's...
The always
right.
stinks, I guess.
Well, it does, right? And maybe it's, I don't know how they clean themselves, right? They do. It's, I don't know. Don't want to get into that specifically. But
jump into the water.
I'm a fan of our penguin friends.
Yeah, penguins at the zoo. That's where ours are.
12:55 in WTMJ News coming up in just a few minutes, and then we've got Spanning the State. Keep in mind, you can subscribe to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. We'd love it if you did it. It's built by Siding Unlimited. The Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. Take us with you wherever you go and listen at your leisure. Text the word Midday to 855-616-1620.
Join your boy Tori Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tori Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, and Waste Management.
Hey, boaters! It's a boater's do-it-yourselfer's dream store. Kendor Marine stocks thousands of boat parts and supplies. Just about everything you'd ever need to keep your boat up and running. Whether it's common or something you think might be discontinued, you can bet on us having it. So don't be surprised when we have just what you need. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, boaters!
Some call 'em oddball parts, but we call them a huge part of our inventory. Dave Doro here from Kendor Marine. With thousands of boat parts and supplies stacked right here in our store, you won't have to look elsewhere. If you need it, chances are we got it, along with expert advice to get your job done right. Hey, boaters in the know